So first of all, what I want to do is cover Satan's strategy. What's the satanic strategy? Folks, it's mind controlism, and it's called optogenetics using graphene and luciferase. I'm going to prove it out. And why? You ask why. Why is Satan trying to do this? Well, he's the great copycat. He wants to be omnipresent like God. He wants to steal your soul ultimately. And also a third piece here, strategic pillar, I think Satan wants to build an army, a mind control army for the Battle of Armageddon. Folks, this is nothing but iron mixed with clay or graphene oxide mixed in you. If you follow my ministry, I always like to say that, and the seeds of men will not cleave. This is a seed war going back to Genesis 3, Genesis 6, and also the book of Revelation mentions a seed war. And if you don't believe about this mind controlism, folks, I'm going to show a clip about a doctor just getting off that has been exposing graphene in everything. This is a deep one, my friends. But first of all, I was going to play this video. There was not any audio to it. So I just took a screen caption of it. And I'm pretty sure I put this on Telegram as well. So check out Telegram. A lot of the information, I don't necessarily give my opinion, but I put articles and insights that I find interesting. And later I carry them in to this VCast for analysis. But check this out. Graphene-based sensors for biomedicine and brain-machine interfaces. Graphene-based sensors for biomedicine and brain-machine interface. So if your brain can communicate out, computers, artificial intelligence, this beast system, this Antichrist beast system can communicate back in. Flat out, mind controlism. And I'm showing a picture, if you're just listening on a podcast service, of this person's brain who is wired. It is flat out wired. And folks, I'm going to show articles on how COVID-19 and God knows what else, maybe through the want, is building nanotubes in your brain. And we've demonstrated, I'm going to show a podcast that we did later on how they can actually, with nanotechnology, rewire your brain. I don't think you need a microchip to have mind controlism technology. And if you just read the white papers, you can really understand that pretty clearly. But they're showing this person's brain mapped with nanowires, and it's communicating via a Wi-Fi signal to the hospital. And the video shows somebody with a cell phone. It's like, alert, alert, alert. Folks, we're living in evil, and it gets even more deep. Optogenetics is a term I've used before early days of the ministry, but that's the study of manipulation basically of your brain. Let's play this video. Let her explain it.
Talk about optogenetics, controlling the brain using light. When I say mind control, it might sound like something out of Star Wars. Future is now. We've got the entire World Wide Web in our pockets. Chefs have created veggie burgers that bleed like real meat, and scientists can control minds. Wait, what? Yeah, that's not a joke. We're going to talk about optogenetics, controlling the brain using light. When I say mind control, it might sound like something out of Star Wars, but in the last decade, advances in technology have let scientists figure out how to directly control the signaling between neurons. See, neurons use electricity to send signals. All along both sides of the cell membrane are electrically charged ions, which create an electrical gradient. To send a signal, called an action potential, ion channels have to open to allow ions to flow across the plasma membrane, shifting the balance of the electrical charge. This change in the charge sends the action potential shooting down the axon of the neuron, passing the signal along the length of the cell. Since that action potential is the key to how neurons communicate, neuroscientists have been trying to figure out how to control it. Control action potential, and you control the brain. Kinda. But it wasn't until the early 2000s that they found the right tools for the job. In 2003, some scientists discovered a protein called channel rhodopsin.
That word, channel rhodopsin, is luciferase. Flat out, it's luciferase. And if you're listening to a podcast service, I'm showing an iconography with some description saying that fact. Luciferase is channel rhodopsin. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. You can't make this up. And an action potential, that's mind controlism. Go create civil unrest.
A light-sensitive ion channel produced by an algae. This channel opens in response to light, allowing the algae to sense the direction of a light source, like the sun. Scientists immediately realized that this new protein could be the answer to their conundrum. In 2004, two separate groups of neuroscientists were able to use viruses to insert the channel rhodopsin gene into neurons. Since channel rhodopsin can be activated by shining a light on it, when it's expressed in neurons, shining a light on those neurons opens up the channels, generating an action potential. Scientists have been able to create mice that naturally express the protein in their neurons. And researchers can surgically insert tiny LED lights or optic fibers into different brain regions to focus their light beam on specific structures or cell types. When they turn on the light, they essentially turn on the neurons exposed to the light. This lets scientists examine how turning those cells on and off affect a lot of different things, including controlling the behavior of an awake animal. And because light is so easy to turn on and off, optogenetics allows very precise control of neuronal activation, like in the realm of milliseconds. Because optogenetics only requires a single gene to create the protein, scientists can target specific types of neurons to make them express channel rhodopsin, letting them pick apart the roles of different cells in the brain. Even more recently, researchers have started using new light-sensitive proteins to influence neuronal signaling. Some of them open and close at different rates, affecting the speed of the neuron signal. And some of them can actually suppress action potentials, letting scientists effectively turn off particular neurons within a circuit. Using optogenetics, neuroscientists have been able to discover some pretty fascinating new stuff. Some researchers have identified a circuit in the amygdala, sometimes thought of as being the fear center of the brain, that's involved in how we learn to fear something.
My next video, I'm going to show amygdala being controlled where it actually has a mouse or mice or a rat kill. They can control the amygdala. This is crazy. And think about this. If they have this mind controlism technology, I have heard a lot of people's testimonies that after the poison, people's behavior changed. And a couple Christians said they no longer can hear from God. One, I think he was a priest, said he had to fast and just go on this massive fast and repent before he could hear God again.
And they've also been able to tease apart some of the circuits that are affected in movement disorders like Parkinson's disease. Other researchers, including some of my friends here at UCSD, are using optogenetics to understand things like how the brain processes time and how different brain cells are connected to aggressive behaviors. Some scientists are even trying to use optogenetics to help human patients by developing new kinds of pacemakers that use light to regulate the heartbeat. That's the beauty of a technology like optogenetics. It can be used for so many different things. The possibilities are really endless. I guess we better be careful and make sure we keep this technology away from the mad scientists, huh?
You think? The amygdala, they basically can control with optogenetics, graphene, and luciferase to kill. This is Operation Crimson Mist that we've talked about within this ministry. Check out some of the old VCasts. Search Operation Crimson Mist on sjwellfire.com. The genocide that happened, mind controlism technology. And this is SEAL 2, my friends. When you read SEAL 2 in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, in my personal opinion. And also, it's probably communism, the red horse. Let's roll it. I'm going to read. Mice can be made to kill by mind control lasers. You can't make this up. The amygdala. Hunting and killing are controlled by the amygdala. We just heard that in the last episode. The mice are genetically engineered, so the amygdala is activated by a laser light. Lasers off. Mice move around the cage normally. Unbelievable. Laser on. Hunt and kill. Neurons with the amygdala are activated. The mouse attacks a cricket. Even inanimate objects they can go after. Boom. Laser on, it attacks. The amygdala is also involved with emotion, motivation, and fear. They're going to create fear. But this is the first time the kill mode has been identified. This is sick stuff. Modification, my friends, modification. So optogenetics and graphene. Right? They know that vaccine or graphene is in the that they're trying to get you to take again. And it gets worse. They're boring nanotubes in your brain. And all the nanotechnology that we've exposed, especially within my book, SEAL 1 is open, that primes the fourth beast system that is iron, graphene, oxide, mixed in clay U. But I actually read a bunch of white papers, and I just want to take a screenshot of optogenetics, this mind controlism science, and graphene. They're together. They are together in the scientific papers. These are just some headlines. Graphene-based carbon layered electrode array technology for neuroimaging and optogenetic applications.